Hi, I'm Chuck Wiseman.
I'm Jeff Riley.
We're at the law firm of Wiseman & Riley. Today we'd like to talk to you a couple things about the closing process and the attorney's role in a real estate transaction. First off, I would say majority of the clients here on Hilton Head, although we'd love to see you here at the closing table, a lot of our clients do not attend closing. So a lot of our closings will be handled by power of attorney or a mail away, and where the documents are actually, before the closing date, mailed to the client for them to go ahead and get executed. Our role in that is kind of coordinating with everyone involved in the transaction, with the lenders, the agents, and opposing counsel who's representing either the seller or the purchaser in the transaction, to make sure that we have a smooth transition on the day of closing. With the power of attorney closing, a document is prepared and sent ahead of the closing date to the client, and where they would execute, get notarized, and get back to us. And then an attorney would go ahead and execute those documents with the client's consent to get the transaction closed. Jeff, would you like to talk about the process?
Sure. The day of closing here is a little bit different than you may experience if you're from another state or even other parts of South Carolina. Here on Hilton Head, the way we generally handle closings is you as a purchaser would come into our office, sign documents generally in the morning. Once we get funded by you and by your lender, we would then contact the seller's attorney's office and exchange documents with them, wire funds. That usually takes a couple of hours. So when you walk out of my office, if you sign documents at 10 o'clock in the morning, you may not walk out of here with keys in your hand. You may need to wait 2 to 3 hours, sometimes towards the end of the day, depending on your lender delivering funds to us, before we're able to actually produce keys so you can move in. So one thing that a lot of clients really get frustrated about if they're not aware of the process is they may have a moving truck scheduled or a contractor ready to come into the home to do some repairs. We try and get them prepared not to have that necessarily scheduled for the day of closing, but at least the next day or 2 business days afterwards, just to make sure if anything goes wrong, if there's any delays, that they're not caught up with paying storage fees or paying for a contractor or having to reschedule a contractor a week out or so. So that's a major thing that we do experience, where out of state just doesn't it doesn't happen that way. People are just used to getting keys on the day of closing. It happens on the day of, but just not when you walk out of my office in the morning time. Chuck, you got anything to add to that?
I just think our role is basically full service, and we monitor this transaction from the time we get the contract even to the time of the post-closing matters, of making sure everything is recorded properly and everything was done correctly. I appreciate the time today.
Thank you very much.